Hi Superstars, thanks so much for spending this time with me today. I'm Debbie Starr, the writer of In the Waiting, which is found at debbiestarr.com. It's where I share my story of going from doing movie marathons to running 4 half marathons in 1 year's time. And today, Superstars, I'm chatting about and talking with you about It's a Wonderful Life. Now, this is one of my favorite holiday Christmas movies for many different reasons, but today I really wanted to share with you and just let you know, and spoiler alert, if you've never seen the movie, I'm totally going to be giving away what the movie is about. But basically, this is just a wonderful movie, and it's so special to me because I remember my grandfather, and I remember holidays growing up every time that I see this movie. And it's one of those things that when I was a kid, I totally didn't appreciate it because it was black and white. And so when I'd walk through the room and Grandpa was watching, I was like, he's watching It's a Wonderful Life again, you know? And then finally it was after I got a little bit older that I actually sat down and watched the whole thing through, which is what I would definitely suggest. If you have not seen the whole entire show of It's a Wonderful Life, you have to watch the whole entire thing, because if you just watch the first half hour to 45 minutes, it's going to be totally depressing to you. And you're like, what the heck did I get sucked into? But most of us, I think, have seen this movie, and so you kind of know the whole theme of It's a Wonderful Life is he finds himself trying to do the right things all the time, over and over and over again. He has these big dreams and big goals that he wants to do in life, and every time that he goes forward to try to accomplish one of those things and try to take a trip to travel and try to go off to college and better himself and do all these things, something happens, and he has to step up into a position to be responsible, and then he has to almost gift that away to somebody else. And so all along, those things keep happening. Now, God keeps blessing him, and he keeps getting taken care of. And then he finds himself in a really desperate time, which in this movie, it's Christmas. So he finds himself so desperate in a really tough situation, and it was something that he didn't even cause. It was something that was caused by somebody else, but he takes on that burden and that shame and that guilt all on himself. And so he gets himself so desperate that he decides that he wants to end his life, that he wants to just be done. And before he actually gets to that decision, he decides to make one last ditch effort to Mr. Potter, which in this movie, Mr. Potter is just this greedy, evil man who controls and manipulates everybody in the town because of his money. And he seems like, you know, anytime he does approach him and tries to talk him into coming to work for him, you know, at one point, and of course he turns him down and was like, absolutely not. He almost is getting sucked in, and then he realizes, you know, when he shakes the hand of this evil man that, this is not what I want. I want nothing to do with this. And so anyways, he does find himself in a bad, serious situation, so he decides to go to him and to ask for help. But of course, because Mr. Potter is this horrible, greedy, evil man, and he knows the situation, he actually knows what's going on behind the scenes, but he decides to keep manipulating and to not help and to not step forward, and he keeps his mouth shut, and he then just kicks him while he's down. He kicks him while he's down. And so when he does, he gets to that point where he's just like, okay, I'm done. I've tried. And Mr. Potter says a horrible thing to him, you know, and says, you're worth more dead than you are alive. And so those words just ring and over again in his mind. And so he comes to this thought of, well, I guess it's better for my family and for myself if I just make this decision. And so when he does go forward to do this, he gets visited by an angel, Clarence. And so when his angel comes to his rescue, he at first is really confused. You know, he doesn't know really what's going on. He thinks that he's trying to was helping this guy out, and he finds that no, you know, he's there to help him. And of course, at first he doesn't believe in guardian angels, doesn't believe this and that, and he's really still in that sour, bitter, down, depressed thing. But anyways, I don't want to give the whole movie away, but as you continue on with the story, he then finds out, you know, because his wish is that he wishes he wasn't even born. So then when that wish comes true, God grants him that wish to see for a short season of time. So he goes back through his town, and he goes back through with the angel to see all these things that happened. Even though he felt like he wasn't making a difference, even though he felt like his dreams and things didn't happen, all these big dreams and visions that he had that he wanted to do, he was going to do his grand, build amazing big buildings and things like that, God had other plans, and God used him in these little bitty tiny ways. It was only a little bitty tiny way in his life, but it totally had a domino effect and a ripple effect in all these other people's lives. So that's like what the last tad bit of the movie is about, is going through and seeing how his life did make a huge difference and in the life of so many people around him, and he wasn't even aware. And so Superstars, I just wanted to bring that nugget of encouragement to you that it is a wonderful life. And I just want to encourage you that even though you might have not, you find yourself in a situation, I totally understand when you're super overweight, you find yourself, the scale, the BMI chart says you're obese, and you feel like, how am I ever going to climb this mountain? How am I ever going to get out of this? And it's just one little nugget, one little step at a time. And all those little things do add up to big changes, like we see in this story. Of all those little things that he thought didn't really matter that much, it totally blessed and took care of so many other people. And so many other people in the town were affected because of his one life. So I just want to encourage you, Superstars, to never question. I know that God created you for a purpose. God has got great plans for you. Jeremiah 29:11 said that those are plans for good and not for harm. And he's here. I'm just here to share you that you are loved by a God who loves you so much. Jesus loves you so much that he died for you. And you'll see a lot of my hashtags on Instagram that I put that on there, of that Jesus thinks you are to die for. And it's truth, because he did. He died for you. And I want you to know that no matter what, God has got a plan and purpose. No matter what big of a mess that you found yourself in, no matter how bad things are, there's nothing unforgivable. There's nothing that can separate you except for you. You have the choice of whether to get closer to God or to run away. And it's your choice of whether you're going to go forward and start making healthy choices and healthy changes in your life, or if you're going to stay stuck where you're at, or if you're going to run in the other direction and get yourself in a worse mess and keep continuing to make those bad negative choices. So Superstars, I just want to encourage you that this movie is not just a Christmas holiday flick. There's so much truth and so much great. And at the end of this show, he cries out to God and says, God, when he finally realizes the big impact his life did have on so many people, he cries out to God then and says, God, I want to live. I want to live. I'm so sorry. And he repents. He says, I'm sorry. I want to live. And that's our God that we serve. He's so amazing and so wonderful, no matter how much of a mess, no matter how much we mess up our lives. When we cry out to him and say, God, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I want to live. I want to move forward. I want to do these things. I now appreciate and know what you have done for me, the things that you have blessed me with, the things that, I've been so focused on the things I didn't have or the things I messed up that I wasn't able to be focusing on what I have been blessed with, the things that I have gained from this. Yeah, I went through these trials and all of this junk, but it's made me stronger. It's made me have endurance. I've been able to survive that. I can definitely survive this next thing that you're putting in front of me. So Superstars, I just want to encourage you and let you know this isn't just a holiday flick. It is a life flick. And this is one of those things too, I'll just share with you personally. This is one of those movies that just made me feel so good after watching it, that when I would find myself sometime during the year just having a down day and just kind of a blah, because we all have days like that, right? Where we wake up and we're just stuck in a rut or just feeling blah, being blue, excuse me, feeling gray. I would put this movie on because I knew that at the end of it, I would feel great and wonderful and know, okay, things might not be going the way that I want or exactly how I planned it, but God's got a plan and God's got a purpose, and I know he's taking care of me. And I know even I might not be doing what I want to be doing, I know that I am blessing others around me and that my life is making a difference. So Superstars, I just want to encourage you that if you haven't watched this movie yet, watch it again if you already have, and maybe you'll just look at it with different eyes of encouragement to see that God has got great plans for you and that you've got great things. I know that there's no mistakes. God created no mistakes. And I know that there's a reason why you're watching this video right now. And it's because God wants you to know that you are loved and he has a great plan for you. And he wants you to move forward and to shake off the dust and keep going forward. Superstars, unfortunately, we're going to come across a lot of Mr. Potters in this world. People that are just greedy, evil, mean, manipulative. And unfortunately, we're stuck living with them for now. So I just want to encourage you that when you come across a Mr. Potter, just know that hurting people hurt people. And there's a reason why they're greedy and they're mean and manipulative or whatever. And so the most powerful thing you can do is to pray for them. And another lesson we want to take from this is that words do have power. When Mr. Potter speaks that over him, you know, it plays in his mind over and over again, right? And the word says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. So we definitely want to be careful with all the words that come out of our mouth, whether we speak them over other people, our spouses, our kids, or and definitely even ourselves. You know, so many people will say negative things about themselves. I'm stupid. I'm lazy. I'm overweight. I just can't do this. I'm not good at that. I'm always this. I'm always that. All those negative things that you're speaking are speaking that negative over yourself. You don't want to speak that. You want to speak life. Even if you start off by saying, even if it feels uncomfortable to say, I'm awesome, I'm beautiful, I'm getting healthy, I'm getting stronger, you can start by saying, I'm working on getting stronger. I'm working on feeling more beautiful. I'm working on getting more healthy. But start speaking life and don't speak death. Another awesome nugget that I learned from this movie is the fact of he has a friend, a girl, and she's a beautiful girl. You know, all the guys in the town check her out when she walks by, and she's constantly flirting with him throughout the movie, even from when they were little kids. But one of the things that I love is that when she finds herself in a hard time, she comes to him because she knows he's a good guy. And him being a good guy, he doesn't try to take advantage or manipulate the situation. He blesses her, and he shows genuine love and care for her. And because of that, towards the end of the story of the movie, she changes her life. She changes her style. She realizes that not all the guys out there are weirdos and creeps, and she decides not to go forth with the decision that she was making to leave town and go on. She decides to stay. And so I just want to encourage you, superstars, that you never know how you can affect somebody else's life by just showing them genuine love and genuine care and helping them to know that they are worthy and that they are loved and that they can have a better life, that there's hope, and there's hope. Our hope is found in Jesus. Superstars, I hope this video encouraged you. If so, give it a like. Please share it with all those that you know that could get the encouragement from this also. And my prayer always for you is that you will be patient and make healthy choices while you're in the waiting.